because I also have people waiting on me, but okay. So I saw this from Legal Mindset, would have been earlier today. Obviously, this came out like 12 hours ago, not the exact time, but it does say VShojo fails again. And I'm sitting here like, what the heck's going on? Okay, even I don't know what I'm about to get to in here. I see Case on here, and I have all the inclination that this is tied to Kayson's recent thing that we went over last week. I don't think it is, but we will see, obviously. But for those of you who aren't aware of the situation before we get too far into this, I don't know how many people can't be aware. VShojo is cooked. They stole a bunch of money from a charity, $500,000 to be more precise. That was supposed to be going to the IDF charity. Since then, they've basically fallen apart. They were going to file for bankruptcy, and apparently they can't. But let's see what Legal Mindset has to say on all this, shall we? How, wait, isn't the whole point of filing for bankruptcy the fact that you have no money? So how little money does it actually require you to file for bankruptcy? What is actually going on there? I don't know how you can't file for bankruptcy in all this. No audio, dumbass? Oh, well, okay, I'll start that over again. And, I mean, I'm only 8 seconds in, but okay, yeah. I'm smart, okay? Anyways, though, he said that they can't file for bankruptcy, but we'll start this over one more time.
VShojo has failed again, as they say they lack the amount of money even to declare bankruptcy. That's right. They say that they are lacking in funds. We're going to get into the reality today and the two most likely scenarios. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire. This is Legal Mindset, where you should be your own judge. And this is the fast facts version, the quick and dirty version, the latest in legal news.
And I think it's glitching up on his end because I can tell he's in a hotel. I don't think he's in an actual room. So this is obviously hotel internet. So it's going to be probably glitching a little bit. But what I will say is I don't know how you can't file. Listen, I'm a dumbass, okay? I'm a dumbass. I don't know how you can't file for bankruptcy. Like, unless you have so much debt. Like, the whole point of bankruptcy is to, like, get rid of your debt. And obviously people aren't going to get all their money back. But you have so little money, so little funds that you can't even file for bankruptcy. What the hell is wrong with you?
So let's get into this one today as I'm on the road, but I've got a nice PowerPoint for you. So VShojo has failed again. So let me give you the scenario that's come out. This, of course, came out through one of our favorite former talents. We have
Oh, I have not actually seen this video from Kayson. So this is a separate video altogether that I was not aware of. So, okay, we'll get Andrew's take on this.
Kayson here. So Kayson had a nice clip where she was discussing the current state with VShojo. And she was surprised to learn in her communications and saying, hey, look, this is still going on. There's still a lot happening at VShojo. It's going to be a long time before everything is out in the open. Of course, that makes complete sense because, of course, there's lawsuits here. There's probably regulatory stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on with VShojo that they cannot all talk about, but they can talk about what's been disclosed about this bankruptcy. And bankruptcy, by the way, is something on this channel I told you guys about. I said bankruptcy is inevitable to bring up in these circumstances because bankruptcy is really the only way they're going to get out from under a lot of these obligations.
Well, it's the only way to get out. Like, I'm repeating what he said, but the whole point of bankruptcy is to basically declare yourself insolvent, or whatever the correct term there. Basically, you dissolve all of your debts and assets and you just destroy the thing. People obviously aren't going to get all their money back. People are going to be left hanging in the wind. And there's no moving forward. There, you can't not, like, a company has zero money. What else can you do? Well, you have to file for bankruptcy. But apparently zero money means you also can't file for bankruptcy, which I don't get this. I don't get this.
Well, they came out here and told apparently Kayson or her counsel, hey, apparently you need money. And guess what? Guess what? We don't have any money. They don't even have money to declare bankruptcy. They don't even have enough money. That's what VShojo is claiming. And they're saying that they want the talents to pay up. They're saying,
fuck that shit. Fuck that shit right now. Right? And their chocolate starfish. Fuck that shit. You owe them money. Why the hell should they have to pay anything to your company? They all left. They're not involved with you at all anymore. You can't force them to pay anything. Tell them to take their chocolate starfish and go just 12 inches up that thing. Actually, no, how about a whole yardstick up that thing? Bullshit. They're no longer involved with you. They all left. They went bye-bye. They decided to destroy all their contracts because you weren't paying them. So now because you owe them money, you're saying, well, in order for us to actually file for bankruptcy, we need you to pay up. Fuck that shit. Take your chocolate starfish, bend it over a table, and kindly shove yardsticks up there until I say stop. There's going to be several yardsticks that go up that thing because fuck you.
Hey, we're not going to be able to pay you back. Hey, talent, we could pay you back some. But if we don't declare bankruptcy, we're not going to be able to pay you back at all. And we don't even have the money, so we're not even going to get your taxes back. So blah, blah, blah. No, this is all completely bunk. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't, add up. And we're going to talk about this today. First of all,
well, obviously it doesn't add up. You're telling me that a company needs we owe you money. So now I need you guys to pay us, even though we owe you money. I need you to pay me so I can eventually try and pay you. Fuck that shit.
This is very good for Kason for sharing this, and thank you for Kason for getting this out. But the issue is there's really two scenarios. In the first scenario, VShojo is just lying. Okay, yes, there are legal costs for bankruptcy. That is true. You do have to pay for filing fees, as you do with many other cases. And let's pretend you do everything yourself and you really don't contract a lawyer or you have a pro bono lawyer, etc. You might be able to get the costs around $1,000, right? That's pretty reasonable. The average cost is between $1,000 to $5,000 in America in 2025 for a...
Okay, I'm willing to bet you $500 right fucking now, that goddamn gun run has $1,000 laying around his house that he could potentially take to just file for bankruptcy. Even $5,000. I'm willing to bet you gun run has that money personally. He can do that. You can't file bankruptcy and you're telling me you will return money after going bankrupt. Exactly, bro. That doesn't make sense. But I'm willing to bet you money that gun run can actually file this himself. Use your own fucking money and do it. Your company's destroyed because of you. Do it yourself. Sell a PC. Sell some of your fucking equipment that you obviously have. File it, you dumbass.
Corporate bankruptcy, that would be very reasonable. Once again, I know that for some people that is a lot of money, and I'm not trying to say that isn't a lot of money. However, for a corporation with $1 million budget, that is not a lot of money. And that is certainly, if you see your finances going down, a predictable expense.
Simultaneously, Gunrun is apparently rich, has a lot of fucking money. He can obviously take some of his own personal money to fund this shit.
$1,000 should be something that a corporation, we're not talking about, Jimmy on the street corner. We're talking about a corporation should be able to find $1,000 to at least file a very basic bankruptcy. That should not be something that is a insurmountable object. And based on also the previous spending, it does seem like it's a lie, or it might be a lie, because they spent 10x of that on just ads before. And that's an estimate, right? It's not exact math. But what I'm saying is they spent multiples more just on advertising just in the single months before. So if you take one of those individual months and you just look at the advertising budget, it's more than this. It's 10x what they paid for bankruptcy. So you're telling me you were able to pay for all those ads, the ads that that Sea-Dog VA talked about.
The ads down in Shinjuku Station, which I believe they deduced was about $9 million or $12 million or something like that. Like, that was a lot of money. Note that $11 million worth of venture capital, actually. That's what I'm thinking. They spent a lot more money down in Shinjuku. Yeah, and then they wrapped a car, and again, I know that fucking Gunrun has money.
In Shinjuku Station, etc., all over Japan. Those super expensive ads. You were able to pay for those, but you weren't able to save $1,000 for bankruptcy? Really? Really? and you're able to pay staff and operations expenses, all those other things you had to, you could have said, hey, we're going to take a haircut. We're not going to come in on Fridays, whatever, right? We knew this downfall was happening and we couldn't save $1,000 for bankruptcy.
Yeah, you're right. The NYC billboard, they had ads everywhere. They didn't have any money at all saved away for a potential bankruptcy that you knew was coming. Mind you, we watched the last case on video, not the video that he's talking about, but the video prior to this, in which she came out and said that they were stealing money from creators. We went over a lot of that stuff as well. We talked about that. And when they went into the Japanese branch and stuff, they gave the Japanese company 2 hours notice before they were shutting down. So they knew this was all coming. They knew that they had no money whatsoever. And now you want to sit here and tell me you knew you had this all coming. This was all coming down the pipeline. Nobody was being able to pay anybody. And you didn't have any sort of fucking money to pay for the goddamn bankrupt bullshit. They wouldn't be returning money. The IRS would be returning money after the bankruptcy is proceeded. If VShojo is bluffing, they're holding that hostage. They're holding that hostage for sure. I believe they're bluffing right now. I believe they are fucking lying out their assholes right now. And I'm sorry for so many expletives in this, but I can't fucking believe this for a single second.
Come on, man. And you're telling me the executives, you're telling me Gun Run and all the other executives can't get together and each pull out, let's say 10 executives and managers pull out $100, right? You can't get to 1,000?
We know Gun Run has a lot of money. Gun Run has been stated to have a lot of money. People were pointing out that he has a yacht. He has a lot of money. He has a lot of fucking money personally. You can't use any of your own personal fucking money to pay for this shit. Fuck off.
I'm not believing this. I'm really not believing this, especially where they live. $1,000 for a lot of these guys that were living in the Bay Area. $1,000 is a Tuesday dinner, right? Just in the Bay Area. So,
and okay, on his point, like $1,000 is a Tuesday dinner. There was stories about Gun Run taking people out constantly taking people out. Gun Run has a lot of money. Gun Run revolutionized the idea of like IRL streaming and has a second company altogether outside of VShojo. Gun Run has money that he can easily utilize for this. This is bullshit that he has no money. VShojo was a pyramid scheme. Yes, that would be the IRS's job. When is the IRS going to go through the board members' house and computer files for the funds, and they're hiding mismanagement and embezzlement of funds? They will have to do that eventually, because I don't believe that they're going to get out of this. And with this latest thing, bullshit that they're going to be getting out of this unscathed. There's going to be probably criminal charges being brought up now. I don't believe that there's not.
Once again, I'm saying like this is something that is absolutely possible, that they are just lying and trying as a last-ditch effort to squeeze the talent, because they know they don't have many cards left to threaten the talent. The talent is lawyered up. So now they're trying to bleed them for every last penny. And you know what? I think it's BS. I would call their bluff on that if it's scenario one. Now let's explore, because I always explore all options. I'm very fair. We're very educational here. Let's go towards number two. Let's go towards scenario two. So scenario two is they are really broke. They're truly broke. Well, if they truly don't even have $1,000 or, $2,000, $3,000 in the...
Okay, so I just pulled this up, and I am going to go back a little bit just to help out with this, but I legitimately just pulled this shit up, okay? This is something that gunrun.tv is a part of, okay? This is IRL Backpacks. This is gunrun.tv. This is the man, I believe, that started all this. He is incorporated with all this. This is Gunrun himself. It even has the Gunrun emoji right up there that used to be on Twitch. This is his backpack. These are his little backpacks right here. If I'm correct here, these are his backpacks. So you mean to tell me that the man who's associated with this website right here isn't capable of paying this? Like, he helped revolutionize these backpacks. these IRL streaming backpacks that people could go out and buy. He revolutionized these things. He worked on these constantly to make it so that people could go around the world and stream IRL. He has stake in this. This is his fucking baby right here as well. You're gonna sit here and tell me he can't take some of the money that he made from that to pay for a bankruptcy? Bullshit.
The bank, they are.
Here, I'm gonna go back just before he hops over because I want to know what he was saying there because I was not paying attention. I'll be fully honest. I wasn't paying attention.
Is they are really broke. They're truly broke. Well, if they truly don't even have $1,000 or $2,000, $3,000 in the bank, they are truly that broke. That would indicate a severe, not minor, a severe mismanagement of funds. That would be handling company funds in such a way that was completely reckless. The downfall was predictable. Bankruptcy cost is severely minimal in the scope of an overall corporate budget. The talents have no obligation to pay and should not pay. And beyond that, they should consider breaking their NDAs.
I agree. Actually, I could probably predict what he's about to say. If you're telling us that you have zero money to file for a bankruptcy, which is $1,000 to $5,000, you have no money then to fight for the NDAs and try to pursue NDAs. You have zero fucking money. That means all their NDAs are legitimately null and void at that point. Because then everything's gone. It's just done and over. You can't file for bankruptcy. You can't do anything. There is no going back from this. If this is to be the case right now, if you're sitting here telling me flat out you can't file for a fucking bankruptcy because you're so piss poor broke, your other companies aren't making any sort of money, nothing that you're doing is actually being able to produce anything, NDAs, you can't pursue them. Not at all. You have no funding to pursue an NDA at this point in time. All of them are null and void. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys to go out there and break the NDAs. If any VShojo talent sees this video, please speak to your lawyer first and foremost. Don't even listen to this lawyer. Don't listen to me say break your NDAs. Talk to your lawyer before you break your NDA. That's always the correct move there, just in case they have some funny money sitting away. I heard somewhere he was a part of Twitch pre-Amazon and got a payday from the acquisition. I wonder if that's true. So yes, Cornboy. Gunrun was a part of Twitch pre-acquisition, and also I believe he was a part of Twitch even after the acquisition. I might play that Mugen, I can't say his name correctly. He has a massive video on the VShojo downfall. I might react to that tomorrow, actually. If there's not a whole lot going on, I might react to that video. It's a 2-hour plus video, so that would be a full stream in and of itself. But that was a serious video. Mugen? Okay, I was saying it right. But Mugen was covering so much, and he also goes over like Gunrun's entire history. He talks about how Gunrun was a part of that freaking backpack thing. Like, that was his thing.
Because if they find out that this is true, they're not lying, and they're actually that broke, if they're actually that broke, they cannot enforce the NDAs. How are they going to pay for enforcement of the NDAs? If you can't pay $1,000 to go declare bankruptcy, how are you going to spend tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars enforcing NDAs? I'll wait. I really will wait because I don't see that making any sense in any world that's real. So if they want to keep the NDAs as enforceable, then okay. Another thing they could do is if they're really that broke and the talent said, okay, we'll pay you the $1,000, but you have to say the NDAs are now null and void. That's where they could go. Say, okay, you want money for a bankruptcy? Here's the plan. Here's the Sigma move. You just say, hey, I'll give you that $1,000, Gunrun, since you don't have 1,000. I'll give you 1,000. But all the NDAs are null and void. All of them. For all the talents.
I mean, that's actually a smart idea now that I'm thinking about it. Everything he's saying right there is a really clever idea. But at the same time, I would say not do that. Don't do that. You want to know why? Because that could potentially affect maybe Mousie's lawsuit that she's going on or some of the other things that they might be doing behind the scenes that we aren't aware of. You know what? Speak to your lawyer beforehand. He is giving like a really good idea. I'm not going to lie here, but I'm also like, yeah, you know what? Keep them in your back pocket. Let them squirm. Granted, I'm a sadistic bastard that believes in, making them hurt a little bit. But I mean, it's not like I've gone on streams multiple occasions, said that I want Gunrun to have generational debt and all the talents to have generational wealth. definitely haven't said that.
That's your move. That's your move. And that's checkmate, right? That's checkmate. That's how you bring them out and you call them out on that lie. You say, hey, I'll do this, but you've got to avoid the NDAs. If they're that broke and they're really in it for the good, they really are talent first, right? That's a good deal, right? Because the talents get to speak.
Hi, Sheriff.
Talent should be allowed to speak, right? If they're paying up. But the thing...
I'm broke. Are you talking about Gunrun? I think he's being passive aggressive, sounding all nice in public posts, but behind the scenes is seething, being the Exodus was because the Exodus was personal. I could agree with that. If you're talking about Gunrun right there, I could 100% agree with that on Ninja, because I do remember Gunrun started following a bunch of people sometime around this. Like, he started following individuals like Tectone and Nuxtaku, of all people that were openly calling them out left, right, and center. He just started following them for no reason. File a lawsuit if they don't have money for bankruptcy, and if they will file bankruptcy after that, they get screwed in court. Oh, they're gonna get screwed no matter what. There's no getting out of this. They're gonna get screwed over hardcore.
Thing is, if they really are that...
Their chocolate starfish is gonna be gaped. Like, massively gaped. Like, you'll be able to throw several pineapples into that.
Broke. If they really don't have the money, that is opening the door to piercing the corporate veil. I've talked about this. It's a very important legal concept. And this deals with going past the corporate entity and suing the executives personally. Now, I know that we are really focused on Gunrun here, and he's one of the few we have pictures of, so I'm showing his picture. But it's not just Gunrun. It's the executives, the C-suite level guys, the highest level guys,
Mountain Dew or Mountain Dew or whatever the hell his name is, who only left the company like 2 months ago and is out there trying to virtue signal that he knew nothing about it, but obviously knew everything about it.
Including Gunrun, going after them personally for their assets. They seem to be very personally invested in this. They are personally following. I've noticed them on X, following all of their detractors personally. So I imagine a lot of this is invested in the egos of these people, in their horrible decisions, in their bad mismanagement, in their absolutely mediocre handling of a company. So yes, I think that if they are that broke, go after them individually. So there's all these options here, guys, whether they're breaking the NDAs through an agreement, whether they're going after them personally, or whether they're just lying and doing a bluff. VShojo is clearly showing itself to be a failure yet again. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one.
I think 100% that they're screwed over. Okay, they're doomed. There's no getting out of this. And obviously, like the video here, I'll even take the link real quick. I'm going to drop this in the chat. I did not mean to do that, even though I'll always jig out to like some legal mindset stuff. There's that in the chat, and I'll put it in the description of the video as well. And I logged out of that. Oh, minimize that. Thank God my background's always been, not burning Gundam, but yeah, that is Burning Gundam versus Master Gundam. Thank God that's always been my background. That could have been very, very bad right there, but I'll also put this into the description down below. What I'm going to end up saying on all this, guys, and I'm gonna say this very, very, very multiple times. VShojo is so fucking screwed. There is no saving this. There is no fixing this. There is no, hey, we can just, snap our fingers and file for bankruptcy. If you're going so far as trying to go out there and tell your talents that you're so broke you can't even file for bankruptcy, you're screwed. You're screwed. You're desperate at this point in time. Like Andrew was saying, they're following their talents. They're following all those other talents and all the people that are like detracting from them, calling them out. They haven't followed me, but I'm also a small little dude. I don't really give a crap, but I saw them. They followed Tectone. They followed Nuxtaku. Their egos are hurt right now because they were massive fucking failures in all this. And it doesn't make any sense that they would have no money whatsoever. Again, Gunrun helped found this company filled with IRL backpacks, highly advanced IRL backpacks that cost several $1,000s. You're gonna sit here and tell me you have no money whatsoever? Bullshit. Bullshit. We're watching at what level they are screwed. We're watching at what level they are screwed. Oh, they're beyond that level of screwed. there is probably going to be criminal charges at this point in time. The moment they start actually filing for like bankruptcy or doing anything like that, there's going to have to be criminal charges. There's no getting away from this now. I thought maybe at one point in time they'd be able to skirt the criminal charges or anything like that. And I would always sit here and say that that's not right. They need to get brought up on charges, but this is bullshit. That is so fucked up that you're going to go out there and ask the former talents for money. Bullshit. Bullshit. You're fucked beyond all belief, and I'm so happy to see VShojo burn down like this right now because, god damn it, they're awful and they all need to go to prison.